Hi guys, hope you've had a good week. We're going to get started this week with some sound exploration, and we're going to be using our voices to make different sounds. So we're going to get started with the first song of the lesson called Start With Singing. Here we go. Start with singing, la 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 la. Now try talking, chit chat, chit chat. Move to buzzing, buzz, 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 buzz. Finish with a pop, pop. Start with hissing, s, 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 s. Now try shushing, sh, 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 sh. Move to humming, finish with a bang, bang. Fantastic singing. So what we're going to have a quick think about is which sounds we were making during that song, and which sound do you think was the loudest and which sound do you think was the quietest. Okay, so moving on, we're going to have a think about when we can go to the playground and the different sounds we might hear when we're there. So we're going to have a think about how we can make the different sounds using our voices for the slide. So what sound do you think we'd make for the slide? Do you think it would start at the top and go all the way down? So, woo! Do you think that would be a good sound for the slide? Okay, and we've also got a sound for a swing. So what do you think you could use for the sound of the swing? So it goes backwards and forwards, doesn't it? So we go woo, 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 woo. Something similar to that. And then we've got a seesaw as well. So we go seesaw, seesaw, woo, 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 woo. Well, it goes up and down. Okay, so we're going to have another try at a song, another song called Playing at the Park. And we've got 3 verses, so have a think and see which sounds you can use, and we're going to sing the song and find out which sound we need to make between each verse. I'm going to leave that bit quiet so that you can make your own sounds in between each verse. Okay, shall we give it a try? Here we go. Park. Here we are at the park today. What would you like to do? Okay, listening.
Let's play on the slide.
Okay, so making your slide sounds. Okay, ready for verse 2? Park. Here we are at the park today. What would you like to do? Okay, listen.
Let's play on the swing.
Okay, making your swing sounds. Okay, verse 3. Park. Here we are at the park today. What would you like to do?
Let's play on the seesaw.
Okay, making your seesaw sounds now. Okay, well done. If you want to rewind the video and try some different sounds for each of those things you can play on at the playground, by all means do. And here is your extra challenge for exploring sounds this week. I would like you to see if you can think of any other things you like to play on at the park and see if you can make the sounds for them. Or maybe the merry-go-round, or if there's something else there that you like. See how many sounds you can come up with.
Start with singing la. Now try talking chit chat, chit chat. Move to buzzing bee, 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 bee. Finish with a pop, pop. Start with hissing. Now try shushing. Shh, 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 shh. Move to humming. Finish with a bang, bang.
Here we are at the park today, playing at the park, playing at the park. Here we are at the park today. What would you like to do? Let's play on the slide. Here we are at the park today, playing at the park, playing at the park. Here we are at the park today. What would you like to do? Let's play on the swing. Here we are at the park today, playing at the park, playing at the park. Here we are at the park today. What would you like to do? Let's play on the seesaw.
Okay, so now we're on to our song activity for the week. This week we're going to be singing a song from Out of the Ark called Music Italiano. Now this is quite a good song, I think, because there are lots of Italian words that we use in music, and if you listen to the words as you're singing, you'll find that you're actually learning what each of them mean. So just an example, I know we've kind of had a quick chat about it in our classes when we were all together, and loud is forte, and then quiet or soft is piano. And I know we've talked about using the words for getting louder, which is crescendo, and the word for getting quieter is diminuendo. Okay, so see how many other Italian words and meanings you can find in this week's song.
Music Music uses lots of Italiano, loudest forte, softest piano. Gradually get louder with a big crescendo. Then go back to soft with a diminuendo. Largo softly, it's not a race. Andante is at walking pace. Allegro, fast and lively speed. And presto, go as quickly as you can. Music uses lots of Italiano, loudest forte, softest piano. Smooth is what is needed when it says legato, short and spiky for staccato. Let it end with a great sforzando. Gradually get slower with a rallentando. Finish!
Okay, so now we're going to be looking at our beat activity, and we're going to be concentrating on keeping a steady beat whilst we listen to some music, and it's called What's the Hour, and we're going to perform some silent body actions in time with the beat. So I don't want to hear the sounds from actions I make. So when I'm tapping my head, I want to do it silently, and when I'm tapping my chest, I don't want to hear it go thud, thud, thud. I'm just going to tap really quietly so I can still hear the music. Okay, you ready to give it a try? Here we go. Okay, so we'll start on our heads. We're going to change to our chest. Remember to keep it nice and quiet. Okay, we're going to go left, right this time. Well done. So moving on, we are going to sing a song called Mr. Macarella Moves, and we are going to think about the beat when we're singing, and then when it tells us to with the words, we are going to count out the beat. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you've got to listen to where we are going to be counting that beat with some actions. So it could be on your head, it could be on your arm, it could be on your knees, or it could be on your toes. So you might need a little bit of space so that you can reach all of your body parts that you need to for this song. Are you ready to give it a try? Let's have a go. Mr. Macarella, Macarella, funny fell, never used his old umbrella, so it didn't keep him dry.
Count the raindrops on his head.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, well done. Mr. Macarella, Macarella, funny fell, never used his old umbrella, so it didn't keep him dry.
Count the raindrops on his arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, well done. Mr. Macarella, Macarella, funny fella, never used his old umbrella, so it didn't keep him dry.
Count the raindrops on his knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, well done. Mr. Macarella, Macarella finally fell. Never used his old umbrella, so it didn't keep him dry. Any toes?
Raindrops on his toes. 1,
2, 3, 4,
5, 6, 7,
8. Okay, well done. Okay, so the last part of our beat activity this week, we are going to listen to a piece of music called the Chinese Dance, and it's from the Nutcracker Ballet, which you might have heard of, and the music was written by a composer called Tchaikovsky. Okay, so we're going to listen to a little extract from it, and we're going to try and count the beat, and then we're going to, once you've got that kind of beat in your head, you can hear it, then you can tap it out, and then we'll see what happens from there. So are you ready? Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, keep going. Okay, well done. So now what we're going to do, we're going to perform some actions along to the dance, but we're going to use a slightly different track, and I'd like you to listen out for when you can hear the woodwind, so instruments that you blow, and we're going to tap the beat on our knees, and when you can hear the strings, they're going to sound different because they're being plucked. When we hear that, we're going to tap our toes in time to the beat, so make sure you've got some room, and we'll give it a try. Ready? Toes, knees, toes, knees, toes, knees, toes, knees, toes. Okay, and we will actually stop there. Okay, so what did you notice when we were tapping along to that? Did you notice how many beats we tapped on our knees rather, before we moved to tapping our toes? If you guessed 8, you'd be right. So it was 8 taps on our knees and then 8 taps on our toes. And could you hear the different instruments? Could you hear the flutes, the woodwind, and then the strings, where they sounded just a little bit different to normal, where they're being plucked rather than bowed. Okay. Right, so all the different songs that we've been singing for our beat activity today, I want you to go back and have a listen when you've got some time, and I want you to decide if the beat stays steady or if it changes in any way, if it gets faster or slower. Okay, so do that in your own time.
Mr. Macarella, Macarella, funny fella, never used his old umbrella, so it didn't keep him dry. Count the raindrops on his head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mr. Macarella, Macarella, funny fella, never used his old umbrella, so it didn't keep him dry. Count the raindrops on his arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mr. Macarella, Macarella, funny fella, never used his old umbrella, so it didn't keep him dry. Count the raindrops on his knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mr. Macarella, Macarella, funny fella, never used his old umbrella, so it didn't keep him dry. Count the raindrops on his toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
For the past few weeks, we've been filling in our singometers, and this is mine this week. Can you see? I've managed to fill it all the way to the top, and it's actually gone above the 31 songs. I've made it up to 31. So you can see I've done lots of singing practice during the week, and then these are the 3 songs from today's lesson. Okay. If you want to, and you've filled up your singometer, you can print out another one. Or start another one. You can draw it yourselves if you want to, and maybe challenge yourself to see if you can fill it in faster. So this one has taken me 3 weeks. Maybe if I do it again, I'd maybe challenge myself to finish it in 2 weeks instead. Okay, and then your extra challenge for this week, your challenge time activity, is to sort some instruments into how they're played. So in our last activity, we were listening to the woodwind and the plucked strings. So you can see here, this is how you pluck a string. You pull on it and it kind of twangs and makes a sound when it vibrates. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is sort these instruments in the bottom here and decide if you strike them, if it's an instrument that you blow to make a sound, if you pluck a string, or if you shake them to make a sound. What I might do, I might colour them in, so everything that I have to shake, I might colour in yellow. Everything I have to strike to make a sound, I might colour in blue. But you can find your own way to match them up. Have a good week.